Good evening again. Welcome to the Fire Burns Within channel. It's been a good day. Done 2 videos in the morning. Time to do a 3rd video. Why not? This video is about my favorite rock and heavy metal singers that have come to prominence in the last, say, 10 years. A few of them have been around for a little bit longer than that, but they didn't really gain prominence or become more well known in the metal community until, say, the last 10 years, or some of them even later, the last 5 years, I would say. These are like basically the singers from my favorite recent albums, basically. Some of them are quite old, but they've been around. Some of them have been around quite a long time, like maybe possibly going back to the older ones would be like early 2000s or mid noughties, the mid noughties decade, say 2005 or so. But no one in this list is very old. I doubt if any of these are pretty much over 40. Possibly a couple of them are over 40 and have been around, but they're quite unknown, and well, not unknown, but they're not famous singers. Like when I listed my 25 favorite singers of all time in rock and metal, those guys are like well-known legendary singers in legendary bands. Some of these are not that well known, and they deserve their moment in the spotlight. I haven't got any order for this. I just went through a lot of my recent lists and picked out the singers that I really enjoy and I really think are worthy of some praise and need to get a slightly bigger name. Obviously, a lot of them are the types of music which I enjoy as well. And these are all clean singers, obviously. There's no point listing growlers and all that stuff. I mean, it's by the by. I mean, death metal singers can be good, but I wouldn't list them as proficient singers, if you know what I mean. But anyway, let's get on with this. The first singer is Tommy Johansson from... he's a guitarist in Sabaton, but he's got his own band, which is Majestica, and he's got a fantastic voice. His singing voice is actually perfect for melodic power metal. I mean, it goes super high, stays in tune. It's very melodic. He's got that typical Swedish style. I mean, it's sort of slightly accented, but it's also very understandable. I mean, it's not like the Italian style where the accent is more prominent and sometimes it's hard to pick out the words. But Tommy, he's a brilliant singer, brilliant songwriter, easily makes my list of recent singers that have come to prominence. Next one is Nils Molin from Dynasty and Amaranth. This guy, I swear, he's a super singer. I mean, if you haven't heard... I mean, most people have heard Amaranth, and he's recently joined Amaranth from... well, he didn't leave Dynasty. He sings in both bands. Because they lost their previous melodic singer, Jake, from... well, he's got his own band, Syra. But Jake is a very good singer, actually. But Nils Molin... he's a superb singer. I'm not joking when I say he's like a very young, classy Dio type vocalist. He's got great power, great pronunciation, very melodic, very catchy. I mean, I would recommend you check him out in Dynasty, where it's his own band. He's the only one singing, and it's all his own work melodies. I mean, Amaranth is cool, he sounds cool, but then you've got to listen to other type of vocals as well. But if you want to check Nils Molin out, it's really worth checking him out. Next singer is... I don't know, I don't think you guys like this white screen. let me turn this TV off. I don't know why I kept that white. Okay, that's gone. That's better. That was a bit annoying. I just realised. Anyway, the next singer is a Finnish lady by the name of Noora Luhimo. What can I say about Noora? She's the absolute best. She's a darling. She's just an awesome singer. Female Dio, call her. Female Halford. She can do it all. She can do full heavy metal screams. She can do smooth. She can do it all. The girl's just a brilliant, top-notch singer for melodic heavy metal. I mean, some people don't like the bands that she's in. Well, one band, Battle Beast, but I don't know. I think Battle Beast is an awesome band. I love Battle Beast, but the main reason I love Battle Beast is because of Noora herself. She's just an awesome, awesome singer. What can I say? Next chap is an Italian guy by the name of Alex Conti. He's currently in Twilight Force, and before he was with Luca's version of Rhapsody, Luca Turilli, and he's also in Trick or Treat. He's sort of like his other band. He's triple tasking. Well, he's no longer in Rhapsody, I think, because Fabio is back there. But he's in Twilight Force, and he's a perfect fit for Twilight Force. I mean, he's got a really typical Halloweenish Kiska style delivery. Very high pitch, very smooth, soaring on the clouds, very clean. His pronunciation is sometimes a bit difficult to decipher. It's not like 100% clear, but I find this with all the Italian singers because of the way they pronounce and the way they sing. It can be difficult to spot the words, but I love Alex's tone. I mean, I just love the way he sings, especially on that Twilight Force album. He's just perfect in that, absolutely perfect. Next chap to mention, I've mentioned him already. It's Lars Safsund from Work of Art and Lionville. Lars is just he's just a bona fide, perfect AOR singer. He's not got any edge to his voice. He's got not any grit. The guy is smooth as silk. His pronunciation is perfect, very melodic. Just an awesome AOR singer, pure AOR. No edge, no grit, and no reaching for the stratosphere like some metal singers. And the next guy, he's been around quite a while, and so has his band. It's Michael Poulsen from Volbeat. When I first heard Volbeat, I was like, whoa, this guy sounds like Elvis. I mean, everybody obviously, that's the first thing you think of when you hear him sing. You think, why is he trying to sound like Elvis? But he's singing in a sort of like rock and roll metal band. You know, it's still got the rock and roll feel, but I just love his vocals. I know it's totally derivative of like Johnny Cash, Elvis. You know, it's got that swagger melody, I call it. It's got that little bit of swagger to it. It's very cool, very melodic. I mean, I've just always loved Volbeat's vocals. I mean, I love Volbeat as a band. I don't think they've ever really disappointed me. I know they've gradually moved away from the original sound, which was quite heavy, into something much more melodic, much more rock, not so much metal. But his vocals have always stayed pretty much the same. I mean, sometimes his influences creep in to his vocals, apart from Elvis. Like, he would sound a bit more power metal-y, or sometimes I even hear like a little bit of Matt Barlow in his voice, like from Iced Earth. But in general, I love his voice, Michael Poulsen. The next guy is a pretty unknown guy. He's a Greek chap by the name of, let me get this right, Yanis Papanikolaou. He's a chap from the band called Diviner. It's a Greek power metal band. His vocals are very powerful. Like, he's full on metal, this guy. This guy is metal to the bone. Like, he's got great depth to his voice, great power, little bit of grit, not too gritty, little bit of grit, but also very high as well, and can be low as well. I mean, the registers are fluctuating from, say, quite low and meaty, and then quite high as well, but always very melodic. I mean, he's also, I think, in some ways he's comparable to Dio. I mean, I'm not saying he's as good as Dio, but it's in the same ballpark. It's not far away. Although Dio, I mean, Dio's a legend. I mean, when I compare him to Dio, like I did with Nils Molin, I'm just saying it's got that tone. I mean, it's got that edge, especially Nils Molin more than Yannis Papanikolaou. Those guys are just amazing. But Yannis is an amazing singer. I love his. He's perfect for Diviner, the band, the power metal band. Next chap is a chap I've talked about already. His name is Robbie LeBlanc. He's in the band Find Me, and a band with his brother called Blank Faces, or Blanc Faces, I don't know how you want to pronounce that. They're more or less defunct. He's in another band as well called Cannonball something. God, I can't remember. I actually didn't like that band, but in Find Me, he's absolutely awesome. This is the guy that's been around a long time. He's a late 80s guy. I think he was in a band called Fury, and then he disappeared from the scene, and then he came back. I mean, he's very unknown, Robbie. He doesn't have a huge name. I mean, most people, when you say Robbie LeBlanc, even if you do like rock or AOR, well, if you are AOR, you probably heard of him, but if you like just general rock, you might not heard of him. But he's just an amazing singer. His tone is just sweet. It's perfect almost, and he's got a really manly voice. He's not like boyish sounding, because he's well aged. I mean, I think he's probably about 50, maybe 51, 2, something like that. His voice is fully developed, you know, very, very smooth, but very powerful as well, and not boyish, say like Lars Safson. Next singer on the list is a chap from Tunisia called Zaher Zorgati. Zaher is an amazing singer. He sings in the band Mirath. They're an awesome band, sort of like a melodic progressive metal band. Melodic, well, in general I call them melodic metal. They're not too progressive. They're basically fixated with Middle Eastern sounds and their Tunisian heritage. They incorporate a lot of that into it. But Zaher, he's very good vocalist. He's just very smooth, very melodic, just perfect for the style. Very underrated, I think. I mean, Mirath as a band is an awesome band to listen to, but without Zaher, it wouldn't be that good. You need a great vocalist, and he's definitely that. Zaher Zorgati. Next chap is a pure AOR singer, very smooth. His name is Toby Hitchcock. He's in the band Pride of Lions, and he's got solo albums as well. He's like a very powerful, grand voice. He's like a musical star. Like you could easily see him singing in a Western musical. He's got a very powerful voice, great tone. He's not very boyish either. He's quite manly, even though he's very young. I think he's probably under 30, if I'm not wrong, around that age, 30, maybe 31. But he's a young chap. His voice is silky smooth. I mean, it's got a great tone, not a lot of grit in it. So it's perfect for AOR, where you don't need a heavy delivery. It's like a smoother delivery to bring across the emotion of the song. And he's perfect for that. The next singer, I'm going to Australia. It's Tim Lord, or some people call him Lord Tim. I don't know. He's the leader of the band Lord from Australia. Lord is a power metal band from Australia. A very cool band, very underrated. They definitely need more exposure. Tim is a great singer, very powerful, perfect for power metal. Great tone, great power. Well worth checking out Lord if you haven't already. The next singer is a Greek chap by the name of R.D. Leopakis. R.D. he's a brilliant singer for power metal. He uses a little bit of more grit than some of the other guys. He's got like he can do a slight rasp, and he's also very melodic still, very heavy. He sings in the two bands currently, Mystic Prophecy, his own band, and he recently sang on the latest Steel Prophet album from the USA, which was an awesome album. I mean, it was an awesome comeback. And what made it awesome was R.D. Leopakis' vocals. I mean, his vocals just fit perfectly like a glove with Steel Prophet's music. If you enjoy like heavy power metal vocals, definitely you need to check out his bands, Mystic Prophecy and just the latest Steel Prophet album. The next singer, I'm going to Finland. It's Pekka Heino from Brother Fire Tribe and Leverage. Pekka, he's a great singer. He's a typical Scandi sounding AOR singer. Very smooth, not much of an accent that is noticeable. Good word delivery, good pronunciation, very melodic, very smooth, very catchy vocals. If you enjoy AOR, obviously you already know Pekka in Brother Fire Tribe and his vocal abilities. The next chap, I'm coming straight to the UK. This guy, I tell you something, this guy, if there's any justice, he will be a household name sooner or later. It's Nathan James from Inglorious. Nathan, he's just an awesome singer. He's a young chap. I don't know how old he is. He's probably about, I don't know, I'd say he's probably under 30 or close to 30 maybe. I mean, his vocals maybe you could say haven't fully matured, but they're already very awesome. He's just a great singer. Great tone, classic rock style singer, you know, in the Coverdale mode. Very cool, little bit of Glenn Hughes to him, not too much. Very smooth. He's not got a real gritty voice, but he's got like a very smooth style of singing, very soulful, very melodic. You know, very, I don't know, slightly bluesy vocals. I mean, his band is quite bluesy as well, Inglorious, but I mean, I wouldn't like that kind of bluesy rock if it didn't have an amazing singer, and Nathan is that amazing singer that the band needs. This guy, he deserves a lot more praise, a lot more attention. He's really a superb singer. The next chap, well, he's a brilliant songwriter, and I also love his voice. I've talked about him before. It's Eric Martinson from Eclipse. Eric, he's not like a fantastic singer, but he's a perfect singer for Eclipse. He's got this sort of like boyish sort of edge to his vocals. They're not like super manly, but they're very smooth, very clean, quite edgy sometimes. Little bit of edge, not quite edgy, but a little bit of edge on, say, the smoother, the harder songs. Sorry, not the smoother. The heavier songs, he will sort of add a little bit of grit, so to become a little bit more manly sounding. But then he'll do a very upbeat, sort of high, light, a more beautiful style of vocal, which is always very cool. I mean, to me, he's very underrated as a singer as well. The next chap is Attila Dawn from Powerwolf. Well, Powerwolf is a band I just adore. I mean, I think Attila is perfect for them. I mean, he studied as an operatic singer, but he doesn't really use any operatic style in Powerwolf. He sort of like goes very deep and very powerful, almost, you know, deep baritone, but without the sort of warbling that an opera singer might use. Not too much vibrato that I can hear. But the power and his style of phrasing is really cool. I mean, you can tell he's got an accent. The Germanic accent is coming through. I mean, the guy's not from Germany. His roots are in Romania, but I think when you hear him speaking in between songs or interviews, he's got that Germanic twang going on. So you can tell where he's coming from. But when he sings very clear. The words are easily understandable. It's just perfect for the band. I mean, it's heavy, melodic, and cool vocals. What can I say? Just perfect for the band. Right, how many singers I've got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 singers to go. The next singer is Mark Tremonti. I didn't know he could sing this good. Tremonti is an amazing singer. I think I'm gonna get some shit for this, but I think I might like his vocals more than Miles Kennedy in Alter Bridge. I mean, the way Tremonti sings is really cool for me. He's sort of quite clear, quite powerful, got a typical melodic edge, very cool. Can be high pitched, but in general it's fairly, the tone is fairly mid-range. It's not like going super high or super low or anything like that. To me, it's a very, very cool style of vocal, and I really enjoy his vocals in his own band, Tremonti. Next chap, he's a very unknown guy. It's a chap by the name of, American chap by the name of Jake Rogers from the band Visigoth. They play traditional power heavy metal from USA. Jake's vocals are just superb. I mean, he's got a very powerful tone. He's a young guy. He can't be very old. He must be like possibly close to 30, but not quite there yet, probably. His voice is just perfect for the band. I mean, it's really powerful, really melodic, very catchy vocals, very underrated. The next chap is a Swede by the name of Tommy Karavik. He sings in Camelot now and his own previous band, Seventh Wonder, the prog metal band. Tommy is a very smooth singer. In Camelot, he sounds quite a bit like Khan. I mean, I don't know if they've told him to sound like Khan, but the band leader Thomas Youngblood probably said, well, try to sound a little bit like Khan, but try to use some of your own as well. So you can tell, when he first joined Camelot, everyone was saying, well, this guy is just a Khan clone. But I don't know, since then he's sort of incorporated quite a bit of his own style as well. Like in Seventh Wonder, you hear more of his own voice. He's not like singing with that Khan tone, very over dramatic. His own voice is like really sort of quite thin, very melodic, very smooth. But in Camelot, he sort of switches to a more emotional, warm type of voice, which is very cool. I mean, the guy's got a super voice all round. The next chap is a legend. It's Bjorn Speedstrid. He makes this list because of his singing in the Night Flight Orchestra and not so much, of course, Soilwork, where it's sort of clean and scream mixed. But in the Night Flight Orchestra, the guy is just, he's proving himself to be a classic melodic AOR singer. Super slick voice, great melodies, great pronunciation, just a typical catchy melodic Swedish style of AOR singer. I mean, just perfect. 4 singers to go. Next one is Cobra Page from Cobra and the Lotus. I just love Cobra's voice. I think her tone is like very smooth. She doesn't go super high. She stays in quite a mid-register. She pronounces the words so well. Very catchy lines, very cool vocals. Cobra Page from Cobra and the Lotus. 3 singers to go. The next chap is not very well known. It's Todd Michael Hall from Riot, and he's been in other bands as well. But he got fame from his stint in Riot and their most recent album. Todd is a great singer. He's a typical high-pitched classic metal singer. He goes very high. He still stays very smooth. He's not got like a throaty voice. He's got a very slick, very melodic, very high pitched power metal voice. Very power metal. 2 singers to go. This chap has actually been around quite a long time. He's not had a hugely famous career, but he had success. But I think in recent times he's really done well in the power metal field, especially. It's Urban Breed from Sweden. He was in Tad Morose. He had his own bands, Trail of Murder, and most recently he created a new band called Sirius Black. It's a melodic power metal band. Urban's vocals are just quite unique. You could tell it's Urban pretty quickly. He's got quite a nasal delivery, and he's also very melodic. His voice is not very a heavy voice. It's quite a thin voice, but it's also very memorable. I mean, it's quite easy for me, after listening so many times, it's quite easy for me to pick him out compared to other singers. I think that's what makes me like him so much. And finally, the last singer I want to mention, he's a pretty unknown guy. I mean, this one is real from the depths, but I think he really deserves a mention. His name is Vasilis Georgiou. He's in the band Sunburst and another band called Black Fate. They are both from Greece. This guy is a pure Khan clone. I mean that in the best sense of the word. I don't mean it in a derogatory sense. He's just a perfect Khan clone. If you miss Khan in singing in classic melodic power prog bands, then you need to check out this chap in Sunburst and Black Fate. He's got the same tone, same kind of delivery. He doesn't have any noticeable accent. He pronounces clear, which is surprising because he's a Greek chap. You'd think, he might not be perfect, but he's absolutely spot on. If you're seeking a Khan clone, because Khan doesn't sing in, say, that style of music anymore, and you want to hear something like that, then definitely check out his bands, Sunburst and Black Fate, which has actually got a new album coming out. But Vasilis Georgiou is the name. Okay, that was it. What can I say? My favourite rock metal singers from the last, say, 10 years. Some of them have been around a bit longer, but these guys and girl, one girl, I think. Is it one girl? Just the one girl, Nora. No, two girls, I lie. Cobra as well. 2 girls and plenty of chaps. What can I say? I love these singers. Awesome.